All right, so let's start this broadcast with updates that have come in from Iran, where the Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi has now indicated that Iran is ready to hold talks with the world powers to revive the 2015 Iranian nuclear deal. But he also went on to make it abundantly clear that Iran will not engage with the Western world to revive the deal under pressure. Now, Raisi, in a televised interview, has said that he wants goal-oriented negotiations, especially of the lifting of the crippling economic sanctions on Iran by the Western powers.
من قبلا هم اعلام کردم که ما حتما گفتگو و مذاکره رو در دستور کار دولت خواهیم داشت، اما نه با فشاری که دارن دنبال میکنن. و این فشار آوردن همراه با گفتگو قبلا جواب نداده. بارها تجربه کردن امریکایی‌ها، اروپایی‌ها که این گفتگوها جواب نمیده که بخواد همراه با فشار باشه. اونی که ما دنبالشیم در این گفتگوها رفع تحریم‌های ظالمانه است.
Remember, European powers such as France and Germany have urged Iran to get back to the negotiating table. Concerns have risen after reports from the United Nations nuclear watchdog that confirmed that Iran has in fact produced uranium that's been enriched to nearly about 20% of purity. It has also lifted the production capacity of uranium enrichment to as much as 60%. Now, Iran, for its part, has made it abundantly clear that the nuclear program that it is pursuing is meant only for peaceful civilian purposes. It also went on to state that it had informed the IAEA about its nuclear activities and that it was in fact ready to reverse its actions if the Americans return to the negotiating table and also lift the sanctions that have been imposed on Iran. Remember, it was the Americans under Donald Trump who unilaterally walked out of the Iranian nuclear deal. Donald Trump back then had described it as the worst deal negotiated ever by the Americans. Now, both Tehran and Washington have maintained that reviving the nuclear deal, of course, is a top priority. But 6 rounds of talks in Vienna earlier this year have failed to produce a path to restore the multilateral agreement that formally is known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Now, the election of the Conservative President, Ibrahim Raisi, has also made the situation very interesting. Negotiations have been on the back burner since the month of June, with the new Iranian government transitioning to power, and also Raisi's cabinet had been approved recently. No plans for resuming negotiations at this point of time have been proposed. Since 2015, the former American President Donald Trump, remember, as a part of his policy of maximum pressure on Iran, imposed over 1,000 crippling economic sanctions in the country. And Joe Biden, the Democrat, who in fact under the Barack Obama regime had negotiated this deal, also went on to add a few more of his own sanctions. So far, the United States has said that it is willing to remove some sanctions based on certain conditionalities, but Iran is demanding that all economic sanctions need to be removed. With President Biden occupied with multiple crises, some of them made of his own making, from the Afghanistan withdrawal to Hurricane Ida, it is unclear whether Raisi's comments, of course, will translate into anything substantial. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.